Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Maximus Black
and Nova War,
and we are bringing you Game 2 of the semifinals between SlugishFrame, starting up here in the north position, and DurtyKeyLime, the Terran, down here in the south position. It is now 1-0 for DurtyKeyLime, and the first game was actually a pretty good one. Couple of mistakes on both parts, but it was a close game, a lot of action, and I'm sure we're only going to see the same thing this time.
Yeah, certainly. This map is, I have to say, probably a little bit more favored for the Terran than the last match or last map was. There's a lot of great opportunity for Terran to do some old-fashioned Terran creeping with the tanks. So I'll be interested to see if DurtyKeyLime does do any of that kind of thing. I'll also be super interested to see if SlugishFrame actually makes use of a proxy pylon, or does a 7 or 8 minute push, or counters in reasonable time, or something like that, because he definitely had the match last time, and then those were his biggest mistakes. And yeah.
No, definitely. I would love to see a proxy pylon. If I don't see a proxy pylon in this game, I'm not going to be the happiest guy on the planet. And yeah, so I guess I'll quickly talk about our website again, d2dgamer.com. Also, if you're not a subscriber of our channel, go ahead and do so if you like what we're doing. Also, we have more tournaments coming, and we are going to be announcing the bronze and silver tournament sometime in the near future. We
haven't talked about that yet.
No, we haven't talked a great deal about it. We know it's coming, the bronze and silver tournament in February. I am going to Cuba on a little pleasure vacation, me and the fiance, so I'm going to get away from LAGTV for a week and let Adam take all the responsibilities for a week. Lucky him.
Yippee.
And also, Adam ordered a brand new microphone.
I'm getting a new toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I ordered the same microphone that we're using right now not long ago, and it should be arriving this week sometime. And so that's going to be really nice. It'll allow me to do some more solo casting like I was doing before. Still have to figure out why Fraps is running kind of slow on my computer. It didn't before, but now it just refuses to run very smoothly. So other than that, as soon as I figure that out, I'll be able to do stuff like tutorials and solo casts and all sorts of great stuff, and it will allow us to fill in the gaps when Jeff and I can't get together. So that I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Yeah, one thing that I will note about SlugishFrame's play here is he actually does a pretty damn good open. I mean, Protoss, a lot of Protoss players do the same thing over and over again. You know, Gateway, Cybernetics Core, Gateway. Sometimes they like to 3-robo. It doesn't really 3-gate robo.
I was gonna say 3-robo. Hot damn.
Yeah, 3-gate robo. But he actually does this pretty well. He does throw that Gateway. He is getting his warp gate right away, which is what I like to see. It's just he really does slack at getting that proxy pylon down and around the enemy's area, so that way you can kind of hold your ground like Terran does, and just keep warping in units and keep applying pressure. One thing that I do like here is he's putting up that proxy pylon around these destructible rocks, so that way you can see if they're being destroyed. And before I give Adam the microphone, I want to quickly talk about these destructible rocks. I know I talk about destructible rocks on blistering stands.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, Adam.
Are there any key features in this map that we should probably know about?
Yes, there are.
Destructible rocks?
There are
maybe?
destructible rocks here and up here. Now, one thing that I do when I'm Protoss, and I am a Zerg player, but I did switch to Protoss recently, and one thing that I do notice about this map in particular is, you see how he has this pylon up right now? If this pylon was built here, so I'll put the example down this way. If the pylon's built here, you can actually get vision over here, and then just start warping in your units without actually destroying the destructible rocks.
Yeah. No, I've had that done to me a couple of times, actually. And it can be some of the most annoying things you've ever seen in your entire life, because you expect, you haven't seen a scout go through your base, so you know you're not using them as vision, and you're not really expecting it to happen, and it still happens anyway, and you're scratching your head the whole time after you've like essentially lost the game. But yeah, they are totally passable, those rocks, as a Protoss player, if you play it just right. And but what I was going to point out about SlugishFrame's play really quick before Jeff talked about those pylon placements is that he does, and he was, oh, DurtyKeyLime must have got supply block there accidentally, and he had to drop some supply. Yeah, he gets his 4-gate or whatever, but he doesn't use the 4-gate like you're technically supposed to use your 4-gate. Like Jeff was saying, there's no real proxy pylon. The entire idea of the 4-gate is to get like 8 or 10 units, go out for your 7 or 8 minute push, and then bring in reinforcements from those 4-gate basically consistently the entire time you're attacking.
Yep.
But SlugishFrame doesn't really do that. He kind of just gets his 4-gate as like a requisite or something. Like he just feels it necessary as a Protoss player to do that, and then doesn't really utilize it to the best of his ability, which is a shame because, like Jeff was saying also, his opening is really good.
Yeah, one thing that I do want to say here is we actually do have a Banshee. This wasn't a 1-1-1 build, but it was pretty close. I think he got 2 barracks, and then he got a barracks, a factory, a barracks, then a starport. And it now looks like the Banshee is going out here. Cloak just finishing now, and this could be absolutely devastating for SlugishFrame. He doesn't have a forge. He doesn't have a robo, even though he has 3-gate. The 4-gate isn't down, and he doesn't have the robo. I think it is because he went for a fast expansion, and it actually may cost him the game early on here. He has nothing. If this Banshee cloaks now, and he should probably do... There we go. The Banshee just cloaked, and I can only assume there is going to be some serious proponage right now.
Oh, we could be like the count from Sesame Street. We can count the probes. Can you do a good count voice?
1.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
2.
All right. So
3.
I'm gonna let you do that.
4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9.
All right, okay.
That's getting old.
Before we get
SlugishFrame is feeling the pain, right? Whoa, that rhymed. That rhymed. SlugishFrame is feeling the pain.
Yeah, nice.
And it's not looking good. Cloak now just vanishing, no more energy, needs to run that Banshee away. And you know what? It's a little upsetting about this attack, even though it was perfectly done.
Where was the second Banshee?
Where was the second Banshee at? And usually usually Terran players do them in pairs. I mean, I do like the fact that he brought one up right away, but
usually
one is following. And I think if one followed at this point,
it would have been almost game over.
It would have been game over. If he would have taken out this pylon or something, that would have been it. The probes, SlugishFrame not too far behind.
Macro must have slipped for DurtyKeyLime during that harass or something.
Yeah, he was, but at the same time, I think SlugishFrame really droned up there, or probed up there, because he was doing that fast expansion. 9 probes did go down, so he obviously had, 31 plus.
Why is he sitting in his base with all these units?
I have no idea. He still doesn't have a proxy pylon down. Now DurtyKeyLime looking at those rocks, making sure nothing fishy is happening. He has this pylon. He's doing a great job at sitting by these towers. But why not just chuck down a pylon right here? I don't get it. Or anywheres to be at that fact. And he's sitting in here with all kinds of units. He is getting more sentry this time. Absolutely no production happening right now for SlugishFrame. His production is shit in the bed. Yeah,
you could definitely say that. It sounds like we're really hating on SlugishFrame here, and I don't want it to be like that because he is a good player. His main problem is he turtles. Like we're seeing right now.
It's his mid-game.
His mid-game it's not even mid-game. Like, he should be getting out at the 7-8 minute mark because he has the units, because his build is efficient and proficient enough for him to get the units for the 7 or 8 minute push from that 4-gate. And as you see now, he's getting an observer in there a little bit late. He may or may not have seen that force coming out.
Unit splitting, don't like it.
Unit splitting, still not paying attention to where he's clicking his units to. That can be bad if the other player is out on the map. But you know what? He just kind of sits in his base. He should have been pushed out a long time ago because, ironically, if he had scouted earlier and all that other stuff, he would actually have known that he had enough units to really do damage.
And here we go. It looks like DurtyKeyLime is setting up shop right outside Slugish's base, using this Viking as a very good way of not using your orbital command to waste the scans, using this Viking to do all the seeing. And this is where he's just getting picked off. I mean, these siege tanks are going to slowly kill off these warp gates, and there's not a whole lot that SlugishFrame can do unless he were to go attack these side rocks, either come up from behind here, or just go counter and hopefully back him off.
He also could have Blink.
Oh, that too.
If he had Blink, he could go down on the left-hand side here and
nice
get
force fields.
And nice force fields to keep him out, but he's kind of just suiciding his units right now.
Watch.
Yeah, he could have Blink and go left and use an observer to get vision down bottom, Blink down bottom, and then hit the tanks from behind, and then bring his other zealots and stuff out with his sentry to clean stuff up. But again, just like last match, doesn't have any of those tech at this point in the match that he should, and he needs to back up because those tanks are just going to go to town.
Putting it on him right now.
Just back up. This is going to be it. This is game because he's allowing the Terran, he's allowing DurtyKeyLime to just inch his way into the base. DurtyKeyLime keeping up with production back at home, and there's basically nothing.
And there it is.
Throws out the GG.
Well, that is GG. I'm going to pause the game because for some reason they just kept it going. That was more of a one-sided game there for DurtyKeyLime.
That was all the way one-sided.
Yeah, he did a really good job there with the fast Banshee. Would have loved to see the second one, like I said before, but did a good job at doing that Terran creep where you sit out front and just blow the crap out of your enemy and force him to come out and take the punishment, and that's exactly what he did. SlugishFrame just cracked under pressure, and DurtyKeyLime is going on to the finals.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot else we can say because we've said it pretty much this entire match, but I feel really sorry for SlugishFrame because I want to say that he might have just, like you said, cracked under pressure.
Yep.
I think he's a better player than he showed here in the last couple of matches. I think his macro or his opening shows that he is. It's just that he was unsure of his timings as to when to attack and when to do certain things. And I think he is a little bit better than he displayed, but DurtyKeyLime took it with some just good old-fashioned basic Terran play and a really nice little Banshee harass that could have been better. But let's wrap it up there, and let's move on to the next one. That means DurtyKeyLime.
Going to the finals.
We're going to see him in the finals, and I'm excited to see how that goes, even though I already have.
Well, I know.
I'm excited to experience it all over again.
All right.
It's like watching Star Wars for the 23rd time.
Yeah, man, he's released those movies 1,000 times over.
He has, and I think they're coming in 3D.
They are.
If you want to wrap your mind around that one.
That is a way to milk your product. But anyways,
you know what I mean.
This is Maximus Black.
Nova War.
And we are signing out.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.